Yeah. What have y'all been thinking about? Y'all hearing anything about what's going on with women complaining that men are not protecting them anymore?
I mean, I've been hearing it, but which, like, are you referencing something?
This all stemmed from. I know y'all heard about the lady that supposedly was running around here saying she got hit with, from a dude by a brick because she wouldn't talk to the bull.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and now this report's coming out that she didn't get hit by a brick, but as an allergic reaction, and she's really a scammer. But I'm hearing a lot of women are upset at the fact that men didn't know, like, no man jumped to protect her or help her out in that situation. They just let her scream and talk about she got hit by a brick. And I also, like, there's a lot of women who feel like, they are upset with women being upset about that because they're like, hold up, my husband is not signed up to protect a bunch of random people out here. He has a family. Right. He has kids. He has to take care of things of that nature. Let me just play a clip of something somebody was saying.
I've been hearing a lot of talk that men aren't protecting women anymore. And that's because men aren't supposed to protect women. A man is supposed to protect a woman.
What do you mean by that?
Now, if you want to be strong and independent and not have a husband there and have a man's protection, be under a man's covering, that is your problem. My husband signed up to protect me, not you. He signed up to protect me and the children. He is not jumping in front of a bullet. He is not putting himself in danger to make sure you are okay, so he could possibly lose his life and leave me alone with the kids. That would be
What do you think about that?
I mean, facts. I mean, I did. In my answer before I had a daughter and to now is two different answers, bro. Like,
what's your answer before you had a daughter?
It's circumstantial. Like, it depends on what the situation looks like. I'm somebody, I evaluate
everything
before I do it.
Exactly.
I feel like my self-awareness is really good. Depending on where I'm at, what the dude look like, because that's one, right? That's one. That's one, right?
Right.
That, and then also what he look like. Do he look like somebody that might have it on him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know that. Like, if you look, I ain't got nothing on me, so I can't be I ain't trying to be fist to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? So I need to look at that. Also need to look at. I need to know. I ain't gonna know everything. I need to know, like, the dynamics of who they are, related to each other. But I also need to know what's around me too. Like, is there anybody else around here too? Where maybe this person might not do something crazy because everybody around here, is it just us, like us, me, the girl, and the other guy in this one situation?
Right.
That changes things because I need to make sure that I make it home to whoever I need to make it home to. Now, before it was
1,000%.
just, my family, but now I gotta make it home to my daughter, my wife. Like that's different. Like that's a whole different level of responsibility now. At this point, I'm just looking. I'm just going by. I'm just at this point. It sucks to say, but right now, you step in for somebody, they get back with the person,
the
dude that you stepped in there for.
Exactly. And then you looking stupid. You could possibly
die,
get beat up, lose your life, get robbed, whatever. Protecting someone that's going to go right back to the person. Now, my take on the video when she says men aren't supposed to protect women, a man's supposed to protect a woman. How I look at it as, I'm supposed to protect my mother, my sister, my girlfriend / wife.
That's your priority.
That's my priority.
That's your priorities, right?
Kids, if I ever have whatever. I'm not going out here seeing a random person, some random woman, going, I have to protect her. That's not my duty. That's not my obligation.
Okay.
Now, I will say if I go walk, say I'm walking, I just see a dude wailing on her. My instincts are probably, I can't see that. So then I'm going to probably step in.
Exactly.
No, I'm about to say that.
Again,
exactly.
It's circumstantial. Like, depends on what's going on.
Right, exactly.
Like, if I see you bullying this woman or doing something crazy, bro, it's only so much my brain gonna let this happen. And that's with me having a daughter. Like, I'm not.
Right.
I would hope somebody step in there for her too.
Exactly.
So it depends on what I'm looking at. But if it's a situation where y'all just arguing,
I'm going to mind my business.
I'm just going to mind my business,
That's not
man.
my
And he
business.
getting aggressive with you, like far as like pushing, and I'm just mind my business. But if it look like it's getting to a point where this lady might lose her life, I can't.
I'm like, cause she can't defend herself, and you know,
it's a fine line.
See, my take on that is like you get, like, again, like you said, it's circumstantial. But see, my situation is, for me, is this just being in these type of situations.
Right, you'll talk louder.
When I was like, say for instance, I'm in a party.
Right.
Or I'm the person who's throwing or hosting the party.
Right.
Technically, in my perspective, every female that comes in that party is my responsibility as far as being attacked or abused by somebody in there.
Okay.
Because you're at my party.
Because you're functioning as your
You're at
hosting,
my
right?
function, you're at my party, the case may be. Now, granted, I might not be the dude that's going to like automatically jump in and just start wailing on the dude because he's flying on you. But I'm going to be like, all right, homie, you got to go.
You got to get out.
You're going to get out. And then, shorty, I'm gonna call you an Uber or whatever. Right. You're going home to your house. I don't know. Homie's getting out of here and he's going somewhere else. Y'all meet up after this, and then something happened. That's out
y'all.
of, right. That's out of my protection. You're no longer under my protection in that aspect.
Right.
But you're not going that's not going to happen while I'm there. Now, say for instance, I'll give you another example because this actually happened. I'm out in the street. I was at a market. With my mom and my father at the time. God rest his soul. This car in the parking lot pulled. This dude and this girl was arguing while they was walking to the car. Mm-hmm. They were just arguing. Everybody can hear the argument because they yelling and screaming, but nothing seriously was happening.
Right.
They get in the car. You can hear him starting the beat on her in the car. Now me, reactatory. I'm walking over to the car. Grandmom and my dad said, "Hold up, where you going?" I'm like, "Don't chase." She said, "You call the cops."
Yeah.
He said, "You don't go over there because you don't know what can happen, what he got in the car, what the situation it was." And they was like, so we eventually eventually called the cops, and a couple of dudes reacted because a couple of other dudes finally reacted to the situation.
Right.
But eventually, dude pulled off with her in the car, and the cops. By the time the cops came, we like they down the road somewhere, dog. Yeah. Like you gotta. We gave them the description of the car, license plates, and everything like that. Right. But they down the road somewhere. So I'm like, I never heard anything else about that situation. So those are the type of situations that unfortunately we have to consider in a situation. Like my mom and dad didn't stop me at that probably time. Who knows what I could have got myself mixed up in. But then I give you another scenario, right? And this is a crazy one. Is this a shorty I knew, right? She was with her dude. She came to work one day. You can see on the makeup and everything on her eyes. She get covering up from the black eye.
Right.
And I see it. And I'm like, yo, what happened? Such and such. No, she said such and her boyfriend abused and beat her.
That's the one you stay out of.
Huh?
That's the one you stay out of.
Exactly. You want to know why? Because then she brung it to me and I asked her about the situation. No, I asked her about it because I was the first one that noticed it. So she was telling me, well, he did this, he did that, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, where you at now? She's like, he's at the such and such house. She said, why, you gonna go there and beat him up for me? It crossed my mind, but I'm like, last time I checked, you have brothers, and you got brothers who are about that life. Yeah. And you had cousins who are about that life because I knew her. Why didn't you call one of them? Like, why haven't you called one of them to come handle that situation for you? Like, why you can't, like, I know I'm the one that noticed it, but why you immediately say, well, you going to, like, send me to go do that? Yeah, that's the other thing you got to consider with some of these situations.
And we got to address the video, too, because a lot of times a woman talking about when they say that, they're talking about the situation where it's a bunch of dudes around, where, if you step in for me, nothing going to happen to you. Like, it's too many guys around. That's letting, so like, say if a dude, they talking about situations where, at least I'm thinking when they saying stuff like that, where it's a bunch of guys around and this one girl's getting hit by a guy and nobody steps in. You know, if you step in, it's a bunch of other dudes.
See, I have a problem with that. Yeah, I do have a problem with that.
So it's like their situation, and I have issue with that. If it's a bunch of all around,
and y'all see this, and y'all see this girl, don't do nothing, I do have a problem with that because it's a bunch of y'all.
And I'm not asking you to start welling on the dude, but you could definitely stop this from happening.
Like, yo,
break it up, chill out,
like go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to, beat him to a pulp.
You ain't got to put hands on him, but you can't stand there.
Now, if he try to swing on you, then you defend yourself.
So you mean what's going to be what it's going to be?
Right. But even with that, if it's a bunch, I do have a problem with that if it's a bunch of dudes.
Absolutely, because if all of y'all sitting there just watching.
I think she was speaking to an individual situation. If she's speaking to the fact that it's a bunch of dudes, yes, I have 100% problem with that.
And remember, it's not just physically. They talking about physically and socially, right?
Nah, I ain't doing socially. When they are arguing, I ain't got no problem.
No. When I mean socially, they talking about social media. Like when we read these stories all the time, and the first thing they might see is men saying, wait, we don't know if this is true, even if it's valid, right? Because there's been some situations where everybody hop on it, and then we find out it ain't never happened,
right?
But from the woman is probably looking at it like, again, another instance of we not protecting them. Black women looking like, oh, y'all not protecting us. The first thing y'all think about is this not being true, or the girl is lying. So you got situations like that where it's not just physically beating on people that they talking about, we don't protect them. They talking about all across the board. They don't feel protected.
Yeah, but my
They don't
only
feel
thing is we're
income
not
related,
obligated.
money related.
But I
You
think-
ain't got them a house. It's a lot of different avenues why they might feel like they're not.
Well, she was just
You know
referring
what
to
I'm
the
saying?
physical.
Protected.
She was referring to the physical.
That's what I'm
aspect.
assuming.
Right, she was referring
But
to the physical aspect.
The narrative of not being protected is not just physical.
Oh, I know they got a whole narrative.
Yeah,
They-
they
we
talk-
don't
it's
protect
it's
them.
yeah, it's a
But
lot.
you got, but this see, you is too much. It's too much to consider in the aspect, especially if you're not there and you don't know the situation. Like I was explaining, you got scenarios to where you don't know. You could interfere with a situation. It don't have to be true. You could just be reacting because somebody they got an issue.
Yeah.
They didn't like nothing really happened, but because she said something happened, you got to react. I mean, as a brother, if your sister says something, you be
Right,
automatic. You
somebody-
you right there on the spot,
Right.
regardless if she's right or wrong. You right there at the spot.
That's a fact.
They put you in situations to where you almost have to react to it, but at the same time, you got to be considerate of what could have happened. Because the moment you automatically just blindly believe people, you'll be one of these dudes that end up beating somebody. You end up in jail, and they back together.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
what did I go through all of this for?
Well, that's when your morals kick in because you're not afforded the luxury to know the full story. You'll never know. It's
Well,
he
your
said,
morals,
she said.
your morals should have grounds. Should have grounds as well.
Right, but it's sometimes you can't confirm that. It's he said, she said.
I
didn't-
know.
So at this
Listen.
point,
So what do you?
what
I
you
don't
gonna do?
He say,
you're
she
not gonna
say,
get a complete. You're not
all
gonna wait till-
morals are out the window. If I could see like my girl, or
right, it's
if I see
visual.
like a black eye, I'm like, he
Right.
put hands.
Time
on
out.
me.
Not
So-
even see, bro.
Nah,
Like, what if
I give you a better scenario? Your girl at work.
Right.
She said some dude touched her inappropriately. You ain't got no evidence of that. Only thing she said.
I'm going to go off what she said.
Exactly.
I'm going to go off what she
Exactly.
said.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have the
You're stuck,
luxury
right.
of-
You're stuck doing that, but then you're also stuck with the risk of, say for instance, either maybe that didn't happen.
Well,
she just don't like
hopefully we-
homeboy.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully, we build up enough, trust in you to believe you
Hopefully,
ain't
she
gonna lie.
would
Yeah.
have the respect for me.
Yeah.
But
not
that's
to just
but
say
that's
that.
the
You feel me?
argument that some men were pushing back on is that women don't have the consideration for the danger that you are putting the man in
Right.
in these situations. Like if it's a legitimate situation, that's one thing. If
We
it's
don't know what's legitimate and what's
right,
not.
right. If it's not legitimate and you just being vindictive about something, or just for instance,
right.
you're in a situation to where you could have easily gotten out of this in a different way to where your man didn't have to, or a random dude didn't have to step in. You're putting a man in a threatening situation to where he potentially might not make it home to his family that's waiting for
right.
him.
It's a catch-20. I mean, it's either way you
Right.
look at it, it's tough, right? Because you might not do something because you're trying to get the facts.
Trying to,
And something
happens.
trying
Now
to
they
like
dead.
Something
calculate
worse
what's
happens.
going on.
And something
Not-
worse, right?
yeah, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Something
So
worse
that-
happens, right?
you know what I'm saying? So
it's a mixed bag.
You got a dude and you got brothers, fam. I mean, like
Call
I
them.
should be the third line of defense before we get to that
Right.
point.
Technically, you shouldn't,
Now, if they
right.
pussy, then
And I'm
that's
not-
different.
I'm about to-
Nah,
Nah,
even
that's
though,
different, that's different.
screw that. Even though they pussy, they coming with me. Nah,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna be put. You ain't gonna be put. It still
But
stands back.
y'all
Right.
in this too.
Yeah.
Right.
I may have to be the boy that initiate this, but y'all coming with me. Like we ain't doing that. Y'all ain't because at some point in time, y'all going to have to step up. Plain and simple, y'all going to step up. But
Yeah.
but just in the sense of back to what she was saying, it's a slippery slope, dog. Because you don't want to not walk around and say, "Well, they ain't my responsibility." But then you don't want to be the one that could have did
That
something,
watched it and let it
or
happen,
not,
right.
not even watched it, just could have did something and something bad happened. Because that would eat up.
That's
that would
right.
Eat
That's
away.
right. That's
that would
that's
eat
where
away
it
at me for a long time.
That's what the dilemma is. So
Right, that would eat
But
away at me
is
for a
there
long
credence
time.
though? Do you agree that they should feel that way?
What?
That they feel like they're not protected?
No.
After all you've seen, and we're not talking about you specifically
do you mean?
or your friend group, but as enough of what you see is going on, whether it be in the media
I
or
dis-
what
I
you're
disagree
seeing,
with
that they
I
feel like they're
disagree.
not
I think-
protected.
No, I disagree with that. I think it's circumstantial. I believe it's still circumstantial. Like certain people, certain times people come. It's a 50-50 because I see a lot of people automatically
Remember, bro,
jump.
we just talked about Kevin Porter,
Right.
and you said there's a lot of situations like that happening more now.
Where what?
That's all under that umbrella.
What?
Guys putting their hands on females.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You said that's a thing we're seeing more frequent now, right?
Right.
So shouldn't that's what she has alluded to? Like, so
What? That they're not protected.
yeah, that's all under not being protected. So when you would say
But
like,
I'm saying that. But you're saying that on both where situations have actually happened, as opposed to women being vindictive and nothing actually happened. They just want to smear the man's name. So
Yeah.
you see a little bit of both in that aspect.
well, we see one way more than the other. We don't really know those situations. We don't really see those too much.
you really know none of
'Cause
those
they happen on
situations
the road.
outside of ones that come out with pictures or evidence of that the
Yeah,
abuse
that's what I'm
happened.
talking about, yeah.
But some of these things are not pictures and evidence. It's just they got into an argument or a fight.
Yeah.
So there's like those type of situations to me. Like I said, I'm not going to lean on the aspect that they are unprotected. I think they just don't like the idea that we automatically don't jump to their protection.
Right. Yeah.
They feel like
Right.
we should be obliged
Right,
to protect them.
Right.
Right.
We are like it should be an automatic reaction. No, shorty, like people
But you have a father, you
Right.
have cousins,
Cousins.
you have brothers.
and not even just
What you
that.
say they pussy?
Right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
but-
That's a whole like if that
But-
whole generation or bloodline of men in your family is pussy, then I'm sorry. Like,
but not,
you know
but
what I
not,
mean?
not even just that aspect. Just in the sense. All right, for me, I feel like that there's a tiny bit of entitlement problem with that. Like you should be afforded that protection, but I don't think you should expect
Exactly
that protection.
and that's my whole thing. I'm like, I'm not expected to protect
right.
Shirley and
so
Jill,
say
you know, like-
say story A come out. Yes, as a man, I'm going to want to know the facts before I automatically jump to your
And do-
defense.
right.
Because I can jump to your defense and look like an idiot because I don't know the facts. And
But
come
you'll
to
never
find
know
out
the facts a lot of these times,
Huh?
bro. You'll never know the facts
But-
a lot of these times. Like
You don't know the facts, but no, you got evidence. There's some situations you got evidence.
when you never have the luxury of waiting. I never see somebody be like, "Yo, this person just hit me," and you got what you gonna get a police report? Like, where you going? How long you gonna wait
we
to
just
get
talked
this
about a
evidence?
whole Young Bird situation where they speculated that he hit her and he like, no, I
I'm talking
didn't.
about celebrities that got
But I'm just talking about in general, dog. I'm just talking about
right.
But
the way celebrities get that info out, and the way a regular
But what I'm
person ain't
saying,
gonna get that.
but I'm not going. I am not because I have to consider.
But how you gonna get the facts? That's what I'm telling you. How you
Huh?
gonna get the facts? It's he say she say. How you gonna get the facts?
Then I don't.
Not
react
everybody
to it.
got bruises.
Then I don't react to it.
But then that person end up dead. Like you
Huh?
just said it. Like it could be a situation where they end up
You
dead.
got it. That's a slip, and that's a slippery slope that we have to walk because
but-
you can jump.
That's
out,
what I'm saying, though,
You
but
can jump out into something.
That's what I'm saying. But you never going to end up getting the facts. So this
Well,
I'm gonna
I
wait
gotta
to
go.
fit the
But
fact.
if I'm invested in, I'm going to find a way to get the facts. But I got to talk to the person or talk to what's going people
Like,
around the
they
situation.
gonna say whatever's.
If I have a relationship with that person,
I'm gonna trust
Then
whatever.
I'ma
What
trust.
Cash
right,
ain't,
right. That's
Like
what
I
I'm
said.
saying. Right. So I'm saying you got to have.
That's
some
different
type
from
of
getting
way
the
of
evidence though.
memory.
Because if you do that, then you don't need to get no
if
evidence.
it's a random person and she's talking about, oh, he hit me, I'm like,
I'm not
I'm gonna stay out.
investigating. I ain't investigating. no,
Unless
like,
I physically see a man wailing and like beating
She
a
stepped to you
random
with-
person.
She stepped to you with a black guy here around the corner.
Again, I'm like, listen, I don't know. I don't know what you're going on. I don't know you. I don't know what's going on. I haven't
how you know
physically
she ain't
seen that.
swinging at him with a bat first?
Right,
and then
that's what I'm saying.
That's my point. But I'm just saying, she stepped to you, come to you. Hey, this man around the corner just beat me. I got this black guy. What you doing?
I'm like, okay, what you want me to do?
Yo,
Like, what-
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you already had that. Like, I don't know.
Bruh.
I don't know anything.
You know what she want you to do.
No.
I don't know you.
No. See, y'all got it wrong. Call me a B. Call me whatever y'all want. This is what's gonna happen. She gonna come to me and say, "This dude is around the corner. He just hit me with a black guy. He's around the corner. She got a black eye on her face. Shorty, stay behind me. Phone 911.
911.
I'm like, call the
Yeah.
cops.
Because I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Like I said,
not running right. I'm not.
Unless
I'm not
in
running
that
like Superman.
situation and I see him actually physically hitting her.
Now he's coming
would
after
I
her.
react?
That's different.
Right now, he's
That's what
coming.
I'm saying.
Right now, he's coming around the corner, coming after, looking at him.
Then I'm like, all right. I'm like, oh, homie, chill out.
Like,
blah,
you
blah,
gotta
blah.
chill out. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't getting involved in this, but you ain't about like whatever's going on. You ain't about to happen right
Right.
here.
And if you don't like that, then whatever.
And also
happened,
depend on the location.
Yeah.
Because if it's in Philly,
'Cause I'm like,
I'm definitely
right.
most likely probably not gonna get involved with
if
that, bro.
I'm in his hood and he knows Pookie and everybody else around the corner,
Yeah, like
then I'm like, I gotta be smart. What am I gonna do? I can fight one guy, maybe two. I ain't fighting the whole block.
see, one thing you gotta understand too, like if you got kids,
Yeah.
Right.
what if they know they're your kids?
Huh?
What if they
Yeah,
know
that's-
that
yeah.
you they dad? So I can't get to you, but I see your kids walking home.
That's a scary way to
yeah.
look
You know
at
what I'm
it.
saying?
Right,
So-
right. No, it's a slippery slope.
You know what I'm saying? So
You
it's like
potentially
you
put
putting
your
your-
family.
yeah,
yourself,
like,
family in danger.
It's like somebody
Family in danger.
snitching. Like you want to win,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I know you.
Yeah.
I know your girl.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, like
it's
it's
a-
a lot. They don't understand the fact is that you gotta take it.
That's what I'm saying. My issue is the idea of thinking that you're automatically just supposed to jump because
Right.
they're female. I
Right.
get what they're saying, but you got to understand people have other situations to consider.
Right. That's
Like
why
you
I-
should not expect that from a stranger. As a female, like what she said, you should have a man, somebody in your life,
Right.
that is something like this jump off.
You can call
You can
them.
like, yo, I got a problem, as opposed to expecting a dude that's standing on the corner to do something about it.
that don't know you.
That's
Right.
why when it comes to these stories that come out, don't ask me about it within the first day or two. I ain't got no opinion on it.
Allegedly.
I wait till everything come out. I ain't got.
Then you
no,
just say you can't do that.
no. I'm talking about with these stories, like the ones you read on social media.
Like he not jumping to conclusions. Like you know,
I can't do nothing about that physically. That already happened. I'm talking about the ones that are on social media.
But that's what I mean. Even with those, you're gonna never get the whole facts out of it.
Right, but I'm not there to do so. I can't do nothing about it.
I'm not talking about just reacting with an opinion.
No, I'm talking about ones that I'm physically there. I mean, I'm physically hear about, and I'm directly related to the person. I'm not gonna be able to get the facts like of it. But if it's a story that come online, then yeah, ain't no alternative. Like either do nothing.
I really don't even have a reaction. I just shake my head
because you never know what happened. Imagine so many times they might say it could be any story. It ain't got nothing to do with somebody getting hit. It could be somebody say like, "Yo, this black person got kicked out of a store for no reason." I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Let me see what you did. Like,
But
let me wait a little bit.
I mean, they're not just gonna kick you out and turn down business for no reason.
You almost always get the full story. You never not get hung up in the blue with that stuff.
I'm still also, and this is probably gonna get me canceled. I'm a big guy on your accountability. Because regardless of the circumstances, there is something that you possibly done or you could have done that either got you in that or could have prevented you from being in that situation. Yeah, I get there's certain situations where you're forced in certain situations, but I've had that level of accountability to where I feel like if there's even a smidge of something that you might could have did that could have prevented this, you still hold that little bit, that smidge of accountability for that situation. So
I take every story. When that brick story came out,
I didn't react to it.
I ain't say nothing.
I ain't react to it. I'll wait.
When that Carly Russell came out, when they said, they found out she, I ain't say nothing when it happened.
Yeah.
I wait till the story played out.
Yep.
And what happened? They said she was lying. I do that with every story, bro.
Yeah, but guess what?
I give it a couple of days.
Guess what? From the perspective of the women that say that women are not protected, the fact that you didn't react, they like you in protecting women.
Yeah, I know. And I just sit back when the story,
right? That's what you got to do nowadays because you can't just automatically jump into it because again, like you said, A, you don't know the facts. B, she could be lying, and then C, you look like the idiot because you jumped out there without any information.
Now we're weak and we're punks and this and that because we ain't just jumping in front of
I ain't on no TV show where I gotta react to everything they go through. So I could wait till the facts come out.
I'm not bulletproof.
Absolutely.
I'm not Superman. I'm not a superhero. I am a human being. I am a man. And I bleed and I can be killed. So in that aspect, I'm going to make considerations before I want
to wake up tomorrow
to the fact
and
that
see
you need
my
some type of
ones.
protection. I have family. I have people that I take care of, my kids, things of that nature. I am not jumping out off a reaction to protect somebody, a total stranger, just because they're saying they are female and they need help. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. You're going I need to if you we already explained the circumstances where we would react, but just off of a general reaction, just because you said word of mouth, or you feel like you just should be afforded that protection because you're a woman.
Sorry, Mama.
I have a problem with that. Sorry.
If you're talking about the physical, I agree with you.
Right, the physical.
But women ain't just talking about physical, man. They talking about what you doing as being their husband or being their partner.
What you doing to be social. No. That don't equate. If you are a husband or partner, that's out the window. You got
no. I'm talking about protect their feelings, protect their heart, not going out there cheating. They talking about protection all across the board.
That ain't what the video was about.
No, but the video, she said she's talking about the physical, but women say if you talking about the narrative of we don't feel protected, that's what they talking about. They're not just talking about physically.
But you start going into relationships. I can do that for men.
Right, but that's what I'm telling you. That's what they're talking about, though.
I can do that for men just as easy.
That's what I'm saying, though. But we talking about the perspective of a woman. That's what they talking about, bro.
Right, but if that's the case, then men can take that same perspective. Like that to me negates that perspective. If you're going to use relationship situations as a narrative or a metric for protection, I can go men in certain aspects of where women are not protected.
Men with that. I'm just talking about.
So the only way I can see you having an argument to where it's afforded to you because of who you are is the physical protection.
Right, I agree with you. I'm just saying they talking about everything, right? Like more of probably male celebrities stories that might have cheated than female. That's relationship.
But
I'm just saying, though, they see that.
We know that. We know why.
To it.
Right,
but I'm saying it adds to the narrative of being that. That's where it all gets cooped up there.
But you have to separate.
Or black women being.
We can make that case for men though.
Right, or black women being like the lowest of not married. Like all that, it's all grouped together, bro.
Yeah.
But there's other factors other than protection. That reason why that happened. We can get into that. We don't have to get into that. That's a whole long episode for that.
Even if you take the physical part out of it, that narrative won't go away.
No, I'm saying we can take the physical part out of it, and narrative won't go away. And there's still a bunch of other right. There's still a bunch of aspects that right we can cover that. We'll explain some of those situations.
That's what I always came from the point like, yo, some of these situations are just like, I'm tired of talking about them because even if it gets fixed in certain areas, it won't stop you from saying it. Mm-hmm. You're going to always say it because you can't never look at every single body and say it stopped.
Oh, no.
You're always going to keep the narrative going when one person pops up and do it.
Right.
So like if no sports players, and we just focused on them, just say no sports players got in trouble for hitting a girl in the next 20 years. And then somebody do it on the 21st year. The narrative come right back.
Right, every
you know
last
what I'm saying?
sports player, right? Every last sports player
like,
that did it, they dirt got dug right
yeah,
back up.
Came right back.
There's no
So,
way
like,
escaping it.
There's no way this conversation would ever die or be fixed with that, and people saying all the other narratives. So it's like, as a man, like I know sometimes, I don't know if you'll be like that, but some men times we be like, you just listen. Like, what else you want? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm not raising, people around me to do like that or act like that.
Listen, I got sons.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm raising my sons to be respectable. I ain't raising them to be superheroes.
Absolutely.
I'm raising them to be respectable and do the right and do the right
Respect
thing.
women, but also be smart.
The way them kids watch themselves and they imitating them. They might be raising themselves to be actual superheroes. trying to web stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
That's just their imagination.
They just can't say kids.
Kids teaching themselves to be superheroes. Like,
that's
cool,
my
you ain't
boy.
gonna show me how to web? All right,
That's my boys just being
I'll
boys.
do
Man.
it. Anybody got anything else to add to this, Dover?
I mean, we could go back and forth with this all day because it's a never ending
topic, man.
Right,
It's a
never
never-ending
ending
topic.
topic. It's
Just like a bunch of them.
right. There's no real fix for this. I'm sorry, ladies. There's no real fix for this.
You're not obligated.
We're not obligated. Y'all do need protection in certain aspect, and yes, y'all should be protected. But the obligation, the idea that it's just an automatic thing that y'all should have expect. No, I'm sorry, you can't do that. Not from a stranger. From men in your circle or from men in certain situations, yes, but not from a complete stranger out in the street. You can't expect that.
All right, so this is one of our off-topic episodes, so separate from the show. We wanted to tackle that though. Anybody got anything last? Cool.
I think we pretty
man. That's another episode. Yo,
Peace.
Yeah.